The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 is coming soon, but it may not be what many were hoping for. Of course, I'm going to be sharing the details right after this. If you're new here and want to stay up to date with the latest tech, please hit subscribe followed by the bell. So of course we've got more leaks this week regarding the Samsung Galaxy Note 20, and this time we're advised that the specs may not be what everyone was hyping them to be. We also have traction growing for European consumers trying to get the Snapdragon chipset instead of the Exynos we see globally. So we're going to start off with the Exynos information before we cover the new information on specs and design of the Galaxy Note 20. As many of you will already be aware, Samsung released their flagships with the latest Snapdragon chip in North America, but they use their in-house Exynos system on chip in other countries globally. While both are great chipsets, it can't be denied that the Snapdragon system on chip is better. When it comes to performance and battery life, the Snapdragon now always gets better results, and now consumers have started a petition to request that Samsung use the Snapdragon for all countries. The petition was started on change.org, and at the time of this recording it's received 26,831 signatures. Of course, for any of you guys that want to sign it, I've left a link down in the description below. Personally though, I can't see Samsung making any changes regardless of these signatures, as they must save a huge amount of money going in-house, and I think they'd rather invest their money into the Exynos chipset rather than stop using it on their own devices. Now next up we've got news about the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 specs. For those of you that watch my videos regularly, you'll of course know about all of the different sensors we've had patents for. We have had patents for many sensors including ECGs and spectrometers, we've got waterfall displays and much more. And after the S20 Ultra pushing the boundaries in cameras, we've all had very high hopes for the Samsung Galaxy Note 20. Well, two reliable leakers, which are Ice Universe and Max Weinbach, say that none of this is going to happen. Ice Universe tweeted that the Galaxy Note 20's hardware specs are not going to be significantly changed, not even the cameras. Max also quoted his tweet, and he states that basically everything is going to be the same and that we should expect the S series with an S Pen and squared off corners. So maybe a little disappointing for some to hear, and for those unaware, Ice Universe and Max are pretty reliable when it comes to Samsung leaks, and they don't just make things up. Of course, the Note range is always just a slightly upgraded and more refined version of its S range companion, and given that Samsung went all out on the S20 Ultra, there's probably not that much room for improvement this year. We have, however, had plenty of news about a new and improved display, so we could likely expect that to appear on the Galaxy Note 20, and there's been no mention of delays yet, but we're now expecting that the Galaxy Note 20 launch could be delayed because of the recent outbreak, but if any more details on this arise, I'll be letting you guys know. Earlier this month, Samsung filed a trademark application with the US Patent and Trademark Office under the name Samsung PIF. This trademark is also included on the World Intellectual Property Organization's database, and it's described as a display for smartphones. It was also filed under Samsung Electronics instead of the Samsung Displays company, which points to the fact that it's most definitely going to be for use in a smartphone and most likely make its debut in the Samsung Galaxy Note 20. We also had a previous trademark last year, and this was for a new type of display named SAMOLED display, which was rumoured to be in the S range, but of course this didn't happen, so it could well be for the Galaxy Note 20. SAMOLED makes sense given the company's name, but it also leaves us wondering if the S actually stands for something. It of course is not going to be Super AMOLED, as we already have that in older displays. Now of course, when it comes to the Galaxy Note 20, the Note is always a slightly more updated and more refined version of its S-range companion, and in the past it was always much larger. This has been changing in recent times, with the S-range getting much larger, so it's going to be interesting to see what sizes we get for the Note 20. We have to ask ourselves, at what size does a phablet become a tablet? Last year we had the Note in two sizes, which was 6.3 inch and 6.8 inch displays. We then had a light model come later with a 6.7 inch display. Given that the S range has massively increased in size, with a 6.9 inch display now coming, I'm going to estimate that we could see a Galaxy Note 20 with at least a 7 inch display. Now of course, smartphone sizes are generally getting larger, so phablet sizes are going to rise too. Given the success of last year's Notes, I'm also going to predict that we'll be getting a Galaxy Note 20 along with a Galaxy Note 20 Plus. We haven't had any solid leaks or information when it comes to displays, but I'm going to predict a 6.5-inch display on the Galaxy Note 20 and a 7-inch display on the Galaxy Note 20 Plus. I'm expecting both models to be 1440 by 3200 resolution, and that will be a 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. We're no doubt going to see an in-display fingerprint scanner along with Gorilla Glass 6 for protection. Now when it comes to the selfie camera, the Note line actually led the innovation for Samsung last year. It's going to be interesting to see whether they stick with the punch hole camera top center or if the Galaxy Note 20 comes with a new design altogether. Many are curious whether in-display cameras are going to be available for consumers and when Samsung have this technology ready. My guess would be introducing it on the Note line, but unfortunately the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 is probably a little bit too early for this tech, and it's likely going to be something we see in 2021. When it comes to the rear of the Samsung Galaxy Note 11 or the Galaxy Note 20 as it may be called, I've got no doubts that we're going to see a rectangular camera housing. Samsung have stuck with this across their mid-range and their flagships this year, so the Note 20 should be no different. Samsung have also been getting a lot more adventurous with their cameras, so I'm going to predict that we'll get a 108MP ISOCELL sensor with pixel binning technology. We'll get a periscope lens with some incredible zoom capabilities, we'll get an ultra wide angle for those wide shots, and we'll also get a 3D time of flight depth sensor. We'll also no doubt see better camera sensors on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Plus compared to the standard Note 20. In the hardware department, we know the Galaxy Note 20 is going to be powered by the Snapdragon 865 in North America and the Exynos 990 globally. We'll see up to 512 gigs of internal storage with up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it will of course be expandable with a micro SD card. Given the larger size, the Galaxy Note 20 Plus is expected to have a battery capacity of 5,200 mAh, while the Galaxy Note 20 is going to be around 4,300. Of course, both Galaxy Note 20s are going to be running Android 10 in the form of One UI 2, and it will be IP68 water resistant. The Galaxy Note 20 is expected to come with stereo speakers and no 3.5mm headphone jack, and most importantly for Note fans, it will be coming with the much loved S Pen using Bluetooth 5. We haven't had any leaks on the upcoming S Pen, but it's no doubt going to be more refined with new hardware and software features. The Galaxy Note 20 is set to be an incredible device, and judging by recent years, we can expect the Galaxy Note 20 to launch at the start of August 2020 and release towards the end of the month. When it comes to pricing, it will of course be an expensive device. Prices are expected to start at about $1,100 to $1,200 for the standard Note 20 and around $1,400 to $1,500 for the Galaxy Note 20 Plus or Galaxy Note 20 Ultra as it may also be called. Given the success of this year's Lite models, it's also likely that we'll get a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Lite released further down the line. It's a great time to be a Samsung fan with so many phones being released by the company. We've got a huge selection in the A range, the Premium S and the Note line, on top of the Galaxy Fold and the Galaxy Z Flip phone. Now I have to say the Z Flip phone is the only one that doesn't really excite me, but that's just because I see it as a little bit unnecessary. It's sort of trying to solve a problem that isn't really there in the first place and being overcomplicated for very little reason. Of course that's just my opinion though, and I'm sure it will be a successful phone being priced much lower than the Fold. Of course that's all the information and estimates we have today, but as soon as any solid information comes to light I'll be sharing with you guys straight away, but I just wanted to give you my estimations along with these stunning renders that concept artists have already brought together. As always though, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Who out there is waiting for the Samsung Galaxy Note 20? Which model will you be waiting for, and what do you think of the 150MP camera? But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.